Cancer, what is going on with you? God, am I glad to see you. Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Cancer Tarot reading. I am sorry it has been so long since I've published the last Cancer reading for you. These last 3 months have been a complete nightmare for me. It's just been one thing after the next. I don't want to get too into it here and tell you too much, but I ended up getting summoned into court to testify against my son's mother in a custody hearing. So the whole lead up to that was a complete nightmare on top of everything else that was going on. So I needed some time to process. It kind of put me in hermit mode there because there's so much to unpack in that one experience. I can't even talk about it. It's that good, or bad, I should say, but I'm not going to get into that right now. I've wasted enough of your time waiting on me to get around to this Cancer love reading for you. So let's do this Cancer October 2023 love reading. Today we are going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting one card to represent the mutual point of interest between the two of you here in October 2023. Then I'm going to get 3 cards for you, Cancer. I'm going to get 3 cards for your person to represent their energy in this connection. And then I'm going to clarify everything with this second deck just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. So let's get on with this Cancer October 2023 tarot love reading. Let's get one card for what is the mutual point of interest between Cancer and their romantic person of interest here in October 2023, please. Let's get one. Break easy. What's going on with you, Cancer? What's going on with Cancer as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them in October 2023? Okay, you can come too. That's fine. I may have another one that flipped over. Let me double check. It felt like an explosion in there. I'm hoping this reading turns out good for you here. It's not looking bad so far. What's going on with Cancer as it relates to the... Okay, apparently we have a lot to talk about, Cancer. Normally I get 3 cards. You just got 3 cards for your final card. So, a lot going on. What's going on with your person? What's going on with Cancer's romantic person of interest as it relates to Cancer and the connection between them in October 2023, please? There's like a lot that's wanting to come out here. See, look at this. It's like explosion after explosion here. That felt like something flipped there too. There's like a lot like wanting to bubble out here is what this feels like. There's like a lot to talk about, or a lot that you guys want to talk about, or something's going on here. There's a lot of energy here. Okay. Well, on the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading is the 4 of Swords. This is Libra energy. 4s are about stability. Swords represent the thoughts, the mind, communication. So this is stabilizing that stuff. Usually it's like stabilizing the thoughts, stabilizing the mind. It's about taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break, going inside to do some healing or to do some serious thinking about something so you can figure out what to do moving forward. Sometimes this can represent a pause in a connection, like taking a break in a connection. Definitely trying to figure something out, because behind this energy of 4 of Swords, I have 7 of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. This is options and choices, but confusion about your options and choices. There's a lot of cups here. There's a lot of different things you could choose to do, a lot of different ways this could play itself out. And you don't want to make a mistake and pick the wrong cup, but you're feeling confused and maybe a little bit overwhelmed with the options that you have here. This can sometimes represent someone having more than one option or having multiple options. This really is screaming like, I'm emotionally confused. I don't really know what to do. And I'm taking some time to try and figure that out and to like stabilize my mind so I can work my way through this emotional confusion. Looks like we got some fast moving action energy after that, though. I have the Knight of Swords. This is the fastest knight in the deck. This is rushing forward, taking some rapid, decisive action on something. Sometimes this can be like an impulsive kind of an energy, like spur of the moment, spontaneous, not thought through. Like, this is not a person who comes rushing in super fast and then sits down to read the instructions or figure out what do I do here and make some kind of step-by-step plan. This is the person who just comes in super fast and does it. They don't think about it first. They don't think about it while they're doing it. They just do it and then they're done. And they don't think about it until afterwards. So this could just be, I'm working my way through some confusion and I'm about to take some rapid action once I pick the correct thing for me here. Could also indicate we have some confusion going on, because underlying that confusion is someone who tends to take actions without thinking first. That's probably what we're looking at, because behind that Knight of Swords is the Devil, Capricorn's major arcana card. This is a heavy toxic energy. This can be obsession with something, addiction to something. This can be a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like I can't escape from something, feeling like I'm being controlled by something that makes me do things very quickly. It can be something like that. A lot of times this will represent an element of a person's shadow. In other words, a piece of themselves that they don't like, and they don't want you to see it, and they don't want other people to see it, and they don't want to look at it themselves. So they pretend like it doesn't exist. It's not there. And I bury it down inside myself and hide it in the shadows of myself and try to pretend like it doesn't exist. Only it does exist. It is there. And usually this is something that's brought on by something painful that a person has experienced in the past, and they never properly healed from that pain. They didn't take time to go inside themselves and heal something and to think things through and to process what has happened to them. And instead they just kind of like repressed it and pretended like it didn't happen, but it did. And the pain that it caused them is real, and that pain has a message it's trying to deliver to them if they would just like calm their thinking and listen to it. And of course, when you don't, this kind of thing gets stuck in your unconscious, and sometimes you're not even aware that this is going on internally for yourself, or the other person's not aware that it's going on. Sometimes they're perfectly well aware of it, and people have pointed it out to them, but they just deny it. They're in denial about it. Either way, this represents that there's something that needs worked on that's under the surface that's actually driving everything. This is distorted energy. When I get both of these cards together, sometimes we're dealing with someone who has narcissistic qualities or tendencies about them, or could be a full-blown narcissist. I mean, if we're describing a person here. But this is someone who is trapped in something that's controlling them and probably making them do things that if they were actually in control of themselves, they wouldn't do. And if that's underlying the situation you're in, of course, it's going to make you take some time to figure some things out, because, yeah, you don't want to make a mistake in that situation. That is the overall energy of this reading. So that looks like the gist of what this is going to talk to me about. We might have to come back to that more as we go along. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way here in October 2023, Cancer. It doesn't always affect you both exactly the same way. Sometimes it's a case of they did this and now you're feeling the consequences of it, or that can be vice versa. Sometimes they do or say something and it makes you feel or act this way, or vice versa. Sometimes this can legitimately be some external energy that is affecting both of you. But for October 2023, Cancer, the mutual point of interest between you and your person is the King of Pentacles. This is either Taurus or Virgo energy. This, for me, is like one half of the equation that builds the Ten of Pentacles that we all want, that maximum stability and abundance and prosperity, and that stable home life where no one wants for anything, and like it's the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources to build this stable, abundant, prosperous life together. This is half the equation that builds that. The other half is the Queen of Pentacles. They work together as equals to build and manage and maintain that Ten of Pentacles. So a lot of times for me, this will represent like husband energy or stable, committed person that I'm building my life with. This can represent, if we're talking about a person, someone who is like a business owner or works for themselves or is an independent contractor or a freelancer or, is good at like building their own stuff and maintain. This is usually somebody who has their finances in order if we're talking about a person. So tell me more about the King of Pentacles. Why is that the shared energy that's affecting Cancer and their person in October 2023? Thank you. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Ace of Cups. Aces are new beginnings. Aces are opportunities. This would be a new beginning in love and emotions. And you could take that two different ways. This could legitimately be a new beginning as in a new person that you're starting a connection with at the very beginning. This could be a new beginning in love and emotions in terms of we were together at one time where had some sort of a break happen between us and some confusion about what to do moving forward and some toxicity that might be underlying all of this. This could be like filling that cup back up and starting over at the beginning in terms of love and emotions. And the Nine of Cups right behind that. This is Pisces energy. Notice we got 1 + 9 = 10. The 10 of Cups, that's that happy fairy tale ending that we all want, that happy fairy tale love connection that we all dream about, where it's two people that are combined together, fully happy, fully in love, and making a happy relationship. It's like the happily ever after kind of a relationship. It takes both of these to make that. The 9 of Cups is an energy of being emotionally single, emotionally self-sufficient. In other words, like I don't need this external person in order to get my happiness. My happiness comes from inside of me. I create my own happiness. I don't need this external person to make me feel loved because I love myself. I don't need them to make me feel worthy of love because I already know I'm worthy of love. This is being like emotionally independent like that. And that is actually the energy that should be the goal instead of the 10 of Cups. Everybody thinks we can go straight from this, ooh, this brand new person is flirting with me and we're going on a date, straight to, oh, this is the 10 of Cups. No, that is not how it works whatsoever. How it really works is you start in the 9 of Cups where you don't need another person to be whole. When you do need someone else to be whole, you're projecting into the universe a lack of being whole. You're projecting a lack of love. And if you do get a person that you attract in that state, you're attracting a person who is also not whole, who is also lacking love. And they're going to be seeking love from you, which means they're going to be trying to siphon out of your cups to fill up their own so they can get to 9. You have to be at 9 first, because that's how you stop projecting lack into the universe. And that's how the universe hands you back the thing that you don't need, which is another person. And they also happen to be just like you in the 9, and they don't need another person either. But because you're together, you're going to pour your love into them and they're going to pour their love into you. But both of you already have cups that are all full already. And then it overflows just like this one. And that's how you get to the 10. That's the only way to get to the 10, regardless of what anyone else has ever told you. That's the only way to get to the 10. So we have what appears to be the makings of the 10 of Cups here. And it looks like we might be having a new beginning in love and emotions, also being tied to the idea of that's my wish fulfillment, like my wish come true, because this is a card of wish fulfillment. I have the Ace of Wands right behind that. This is also an opportunity. It's also a new beginning. It's a new beginning in passion and desire. So this can, again, legitimately be a new beginning with a new person, just like this Ace of Cups can. Or this can be a new beginning in terms of we're going to re-spark this connection. We're going to re-spark the passion, re-spark the desire, and fire this connection back up. That looks like what we might be talking about here. Now, if I want to make sure I cover all the bases. So we do have like what looks like husband figure here. The center here is like wish fulfillment and like new beginning in love and new beginning in passion and desire. It could be saying like the negative meaning to this 9 of Cups is someone who is very self-serving and self-centered and like focused on themselves and like very me, myself, and I type of a person. It could be someone who's overindulgent or self-indulgent or smug, and like their own personal happiness and their own personal wish fulfillment is the most important thing to them. It could be that. And we could just as easily have a story here that's telling me, well, we got this husband type figure who has started a new beginning in love and emotions because he's looking after his own cups and what he personally wants. And then there's the wand, the phallic symbol of the tarot deck right behind it. We could have a new beginning going on with husband. We do have Queen of Swords right behind this, Libra energy. This is about speaking the truth on something. And it's also about cutting off the things and the people that aren't in your best interest anymore. A lot of times she will represent having this like, okay, I know what's going on. Let's talk about this. And then we got somebody not telling her the truth. So she cuts off their head with the sword, and that represents the severing of a connection. So we could have two very different stories taking place here. This could be two messages coming through at once. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. And if I need to, I'll read it both ways. But when I actually clarify this King of Pentacles, I get the Five of Wands, the Chariot, and the Three of Cups. So out of the three clarifiers, these last two are Cancer energies here. We got a Leo energy here. Like I said, this is either Virgo or Taurus. I've got some Sagittarius, some more Leo, a little bit more Taurus. I got the four fixed signs showing up here: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, more Pisces energy. I got a little bit of Aries out here. You could be dealing with any of those signs. You could be dealing with literally any sign. It's going to be almost impossible for me to pin down exactly who you are dealing with as a specific individual person, because in this reading, I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would if I were doing a personal reading for you. In this reading, it's a collective reading where I'm reading for literally thousands of Cancer people all at the same time. So the lines get a little fuzzy for me at times. So I'm just going to continue to call out the signs as they prominently stick out to me, just in case they mean anything to you. This Five of Wands is Leo energy. Fives are conflict. Wands are about desire. So this is a conflict in the desires. In other words, a piece of a person wants one thing, but then this other piece of them wants something entirely different than that, sometimes the opposite of that. And it creates this internal struggle, this internal like tug of war match in terms of what is it that I really want. Now, because this is shared energy affecting you both, and this is a relationship reading, this could represent an internal conflict within the relationship itself, where they want one thing and you want pretty much the opposite of that. And then you guys are playing tug of war against each other, pulling against each other instead of pulling together in the same direction. Central to this, we have the Chariot, Cancer's major arcana card. At its core, this card is about using the will to overcome obstacles and challenges and roadblocks and like barriers that are in your way of getting what you want, overcoming all that stuff through sheer will alone, and then moving forward very quickly in success and victory. This is actually the fastest moving energy in tarot most of the time. And I say most of the time because there are no reins for the driver. He doesn't have any way to control this other than through sheer will alone. So he has to be in alignment in order to be able to steer this thing and to power it and make it go. So if the driver is not in alignment, in other words, if all parts of himself are not pulling in the same direction for the same goal, this thing either isn't going to move anywhere and it's every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man, or worse yet, the dark side will pull one way, the light side will pull the other way, and it'll rip itself in half as it tries to move forward. So it looks like we have obstacles to overcome, and there's some sort of a conflict going on, which tells me that we're not in perfect alignment. So there's either a piece of a person in this connection, whether that's you, Cancer, or your romantic person of interest. There's a piece of someone here that's pulling in multiple different directions at the same time. Or there's this dynamic where you're both pulling in different directions at the same time, and some will to overcome this, whatever the challenge is with this husband figure. Final clarifier we have is the Three of Cups, which is more Cancer energy. This has two very distinct meanings, which again is like not giving me any clarity yet. This meaning number 1 is reconciliation. This is about being reunited and celebrating. Meaning number 2 is pretty much the opposite of that, because meaning number 2 is a third party love triangle here, because we do have 3 cups of love in the picture. So again, I'm not 100% sure if this is representing new beginning in love and emotions, as in this person started a new one somewhere else, followed the wand, started some passionate thing somewhere else, and that's why we're, oh shit, I must have not went down far enough. Queen of Swords, I call her she who knows the truth. That's why she holds her hand out like this. She's a very fair person, but she has her eyes open. She's very intelligent, very smart, very aware, and she knows what's going on. So she holds her hand out, being fair, offering to let that person tell their side of the story. Go ahead, speak your truth to me. The problem is she already knows the truth. So the truth you speak to her, it better match the truth she already knows, or she is going to cut your head off with the sword. That's why she represents the severing of someone or something that's not in their best interest anymore, or the severing of a connection. There's some truth here being spoken and something being severed because of it. And then I have, oh yeah, I definitely didn't go down far enough. Okay, making much more sense now. Okay. This is all connected here. This is all connected here. Okay. Good Lord. Good Lord. This is a lot. Next we have the Seven of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. It's got 3 meanings. I'm going to give them all to you. You take it how it resonates for you. But this is lying, cheating, stealing, deception, sneaking around behind someone's back, trying to get away with something that they shouldn't be trying to get away with. Now, not the only meaning. Another meaning is self-preservation. In other words, not wanting to be hurt. This person doesn't want to be hurt by the swords, so he steals them to make sure they can't be used against him and he doesn't get hurt by them. Another meaning is leaving something behind, because he can only carry 5 swords and he has to leave the other 2 behind. So it can mean any of those 3 things, but when it's followed by the moon, this is Pisces energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. Usually based on uncertainty, like I can't see the full path in front of me because it's dark out and I'm uncertain if I'm still on the correct path or not. Was this even the right path to begin with? Did I make a wrong turn and just couldn't see? And then that level of uncertainty makes you anxious and fearful and worried. But the other meaning to this is something being hidden in the dark. In other words, a secret being kept, an illusion being presented, something along those lines. Like these 2 cards together usually means somebody sneaking around and hiding things and keeping a secret. Behind that, I have the 10 of Cups, which is Pisces energy. We've referenced that already when we looked at these 2 first cards in this story, the Ace of Cups and the 9 of Cups. The 1 and the 10, or the 1 and the 9 gets you to the 10, which is 2 people that are in this state of being fully happy and emotionally mature and happy and content and full of love for themselves, coming together into union and overflowing the cups and getting you to the 10, which is that happy fairy tale ending that we all want, that happy fairy tale romance that we all want. So that's telling me that we had that, but then someone else is more focused on what is it that is like my personal happiness and my personal wish fulfillment, and that is now more important than how you feel, and it's more important than what's best for us. And my personal happiness like causes me to start something new, and then looks like there's a severing because of that. That might be why we have this as the overall energy, where there's this pause, this break, this need to heal and figure out what to do, and all this confusion. I've got the Knight of Pentacles next, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck. Very stark contrast to that Chariot energy that we have here and that Knight of Swords energy that we've seen already. This is very slow, monotonous energy. Like this is so slow that it feels like no progress is happening. Nothing's moving. Really hard to tell the difference when you're going through it between this and the Hanged Man, like where everything is legitimately stuck and not moving. This feels like that, but it is moving. It's just very, very slow and painfully slow. It'd be like trying to watch a flower grow. Like, you could stare at it all day and it doesn't appear to move at all. But if you would like watch time lapse footage over like the course of several days and compress it all down into like, 30 seconds, you'd see the flower growing like crazy. But this is like, it feels like nothing's happened. And another meaning to this is a person who knows what they're supposed to do, but doesn't do it for some reason. He's got the Ace of Pentacles in his hand, the seed of abundance, but the fields behind him are empty, completely barren, because he hasn't planted the seed yet. He knows he has it. It's in his hand. He's looking at it. He knows he's got it. He just doesn't do what he knows he's supposed to. Now, the opposite of that can also be true. It could be a person who knows what they're not supposed to do and just does it any damn way. There's still like, this also feels like we have this really long drawn out amount of time, and whether it actually is long and drawn out in terms of how long the time period is, or if it just really feels that way of all this emotional confusion. Again, we saw that right here. It's the second card in the overall energy, like trying to figure something out and being emotionally confused with Scorpio energy of all these options and choices and a lot of different ways this could go. And I don't want to pick the wrong cup, but then all this clouds of smoke here represent clouded vision, clouded judgment, confusion. It can also represent someone blowing smoke clouds around you and trying to hide something from you, which I kind of get that feeling with this Seven of Swords moon combination we've got here. Confusion about the options and choices and not wanting to do the wrong thing. And the very next card is Judgment, which is a major arcana, very powerful energy of a final decision being made. In a love reading, this is a decision about the connection, and it's a decision of, are we going to call this dead and over with, or are we going to resurrect this and bring it back to life and transform it so that it's never this way again? There's confusion about what to do, which of the options to pick as it relates to that. And underlying that confusion is this Capricorn energy of the Four of Pentacles, of holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. This energy is applying to both of you because I'm still clarifying the shared energy affecting you both. So I don't know if this is you still wanting to hold on to them, even though all of this has happened, and still having the will to overcome it and reconcile, but then also being internally conflicted because there's three cups. This is still this underlying desire to hold on to it. Strength is next, the Leo Major Arcana card. This tells me that this is a very difficult situation that you're going through, and it's requiring you to dig down deep and tap into all your internal strength just to make it through it. You have the internal strength to make it through it. You're just kind of being forced to find it and tap into it. Now, another meaning to this is it can represent trying to tame that beast inside yourself. In other words, a person trying to rein themselves in and hold themselves back and not let themselves run off and do something like too hasty or too harsh and like make some kind of mistake that they would regret later. This is like trying to tame those animalistic urges and desires that we have at times. And like, she represents the conscience, like knowing right from wrong and trying to calm this beast down and keep it under control. When I see this usually represents a person who's struggling and fighting against a piece of themselves. Like, they have this piece that we saw, the Knight of Swords and the Devil. And I said, that's like someone who's taking these spontaneous actions that they don't think about because something else is driving them. Something deep down under the surface is driving them in their shadows. This is them fighting against a piece of that, trying to resist it. And like, this is like that person who's like a heroin junkie or whatever that is trying to quit, but there's that piece of them, the addiction is just screaming so loud and making so much of a fuss that they crack and they give into it. It's like that kind of a dynamic. I'm not saying the person that we're dealing with has that exact issue going on. I'm just trying to describe like the sensation I feel about like how that struggle goes. Then I have the Emperor right behind that, Aries Major Arcana energy. This is someone who's like in control, takes charge of the situation. And this is the person who makes the rules, calls the shots, and like sets the boundaries and the barriers. This is a master manifester energy in terms of it's someone who has all the abilities and resources to put together the plan to get what they want and then execute that plan to get what they want. This is someone, based on what I'm seeing and feeling in terms of like the struggle, this is not someone who actually is in control. This is probably much more someone who is crossed the line into being controlling, not demonstrating that they're in control. This is like the facade that they put up. It also represents that someone here, probably not you, Cancer, has actual decision-making power, authority, and they call the shots here, and they're kind of standing in the way, and it's all totally up to them, which is why things are stuck. There's that Hanged Man energy we mentioned, to the Pisces energy of progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck at a dead standstill. Now, this is also about like trying to look at things from a different perspective and trying to like think about it from a different point of view so you can figure out how to get things unstuck. But the real concern I have here is that this is stuck, and it looks like at this person's hands. And this is someone whose focus is external to themselves. In other words, like I said, they're looking at things from a different perspective. They're not looking at themselves from a different perspective. And having seen that Devil already, we know there's stuff in there that needs looked at. I would be much more comfortable if we had the Hermit here, because that would represent internal focus and looking inside themselves to find out, what do I need to adjust about me? This is looking external and finding out, why is it your fault that this is stuck? Why is it this other person's fault that I don't get what I want and I'm stuck? Why is it the situation's fault? This is like bordering on like victim mentality. It's not my doing, it's all you. It's all you people that are crazy. It's all this situation that does this stuff to me and keeps me stuck. But things are definitely stuck, and behind the stuckness looks like more hints at what's going on. I have the Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups back there. Queen of Wands would represent Leo or Aries energy. It's a bold, passionate, fiery, determined, feminine energy. This is someone who would be sexy and attractive and like sexually attractive, good looking, like people want to be around her. She's the life of the party, very desirable, very passion driven and passion invoking. And then I have the Page of Cups, which is news and messages and communications about love and emotions, lovey-dovey messages, romantic gestures, flirtatious behavior with someone that they find hot. And having seen that Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ace of Wands earlier, this is starting to look like your person had some stuff going on that they shouldn't have. And then look how far deep down in the story, in the deck, that story went. That's like a third of the deck, almost a quarter of the deck. Insane. Long-winded. Shared energy affecting both of you, Cancer, in October 2023. Not uncommon at this early stage in the reading that I don't fully comprehend everything this is trying to tell me. I will come back to this as I go through your energy, Cancer, because then I'll be able to see more clearly how it relates to you. I'll also come back to it again when I go through your person's energy, because then I'll be able to see how it relates to them. Your energy in this connection for October 2023, Cancer, you got Temperance. Central to your energy is the Five of Wands. And then you had this massive explosion here for your third card, and you actually got 3 for your third card. You got the Nine of Cups, the Hierophant, and the World. A lot going on, a lot of major arcana. Out of your 5 cards, 3 of them are major arcana. Your person didn't get any, so looks like having a tremendous impact on you, whatever this energy is. Temperance is the Sagittarius major arcana card. This is a card of patience. It's also a card of blending things together, little bits at a time, and not being in a hurry, not being in a big rush. It's about doing it a little bit at a time, taking a step back, looking at the big picture, see how is all this working out, and then coming back in to make some fine-tuning adjustments to that. A lot of times this will represent that there have been some like pretty big changes happen, and this is like assimilating those changes now and like trying to balance myself back out because things have been thrown out of whack. Even though this is your first energy and a person's first card is always the most important, it's very common that your first energy ends up being more your person's energy than yours because what they're doing is affecting you so strongly. This can also represent an energy of reconciliation. In the standard Rider-Waite tarot deck, like I'm using here as the clarifying deck, the Temperance card has an angel with 2 cups of water sideways and the water's flowing between the cups. And in tarot, water represents love and emotions, and the love has been separated into 2 different cups, and the angel recombines it back together. This is looking like water and fire here being combined together. So it is about blending things together or recombining something here. Let's take a look at that. Tell me more about Temperance. Why is that the first card for Cancer? Yeah, big changes for sure. On the bottom of the deck, King of Pentacles. You can't make this up. I'm using 2 different decks. King of Pentacles is the shared energy. That feels like your person. Again, this is Virgo or Taurus energy. This is like a business owner, someone who like makes their own money, builds empires. This for me most of the time represents husband or significant other that I'm in a committed relationship with. Maybe I live with, maybe I'm married to, maybe we just spend so much time together we might as well be living together and married. This represents them. 9 of Pentacles. So strange how we saw them also showing that 9 of Cups singles energy. Now I have the other singles energy tied directly to them again, 9 of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy of physical independence, being physically self-sufficient. In other words, I don't need you to physically take care of me. I don't need you to financially take care of me. I got all this. I'm totally self-sufficient. I can take care of myself. Which is a good spot to be in, don't get me wrong. This can also represent a person who is in that 10 of Pentacles relationship, who is one half of that equation, and they are not single, yet they present themselves in the physical world as if they are single. Could be that. Oh, man. I have Death right behind that Scorpio Major Arcana energy. This is an ending to something. This is something dying so it can be reborn again in a different way. This can represent the end of a connection. This could just be telling me, hey, I'm seeking balance within myself right now because husband figure acted like he was single when he wasn't and killed things for me and possibly even killed my own personal independence. There, Temperance. Again, right behind that. Again, this Sagittarius Major Arcana card. See what I mean? Like the water, the love has been separated here and this angel's recombining it back together. Again, though, this can represent you've had a lot of changes take place since this happened. And yeah, maybe there's a piece of you that wants reconciliation. Maybe there's a piece of you that's going through this very painful transformation, very painful transition period. And you're all out of whack internally, and you're trying like hell to balance yourself back out. Could be both of those things at the same time. I do see what could be reconciliation here, but it could also be third cup of love. And I've got this will to overcome challenges, but also being torn and conflicted and pulled in different directions about that. When I clarify Temperance over here, I get the Ace of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the Tower, and the King of Wands. Ace of Swords, another ace. This is the 3rd ace we've seen so far. Getting ahead of myself, but I have an Ace of Cups central to your person's energy. Wow. Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. It's the sword of victory. It's the sword of clarity. It's also the sword that is wielded by the Queen of Swords when she cuts someone's head off. So this could be the sword you use to cut someone out of your life that's not in your best interest. It can be the sword you use to sever a relationship. It looks like there's either been some changes that need balanced back out because of the severing, or you're looking for a decision about reconciliation here. Possible that you're the one that did the severing. 5 of Cups is next, Scorpio energy again. 5s are conflict. This is emotional conflict in your emotions. At its core, this is about feeling very negative, low vibrational energies. It's sadness and remorse about the past. Here, the person's focused on these 3 cups that have been spilled. We've already seen those 3 cups. That could be like, again, being united and celebrating, and that is over. It's all been spilled out. This could be 3rd cup of love showed up. Either way, there's 3 cups that everything's spilled now. There's 2 upright cups in the background. The 2 of cups would represent, a love connection between 2 people. There's still a connection that you feel here. It just doesn't have the focus. This is like sadness and remorse. It's being focused on something from the past and then feeling what you felt in the past when the cups got spilled. If you're focused on the third party, you're going to feel what you felt when the third party happened and you found out about it. If you're focused on something that you've lost, you are going to feel that loss. If you focus on something that you believe is missing from your life now, you are going to feel that gap in your life. There are things that you can be happy for. This is a card that strongly recommends for you if you're actually trying to balance yourself back out and re-even things and get back to your equilibrium, you need to take your focus off of the past and the loss and what's missing and put your focus on what you do have. This, though, is telling me that there are some regrets tied to the severing of this connection. There's sadness tied to that. There's emotional loss and pain tied to that. The next card we have is the Tower. This is a very abrupt shift, a very abrupt change. This is a foundation rocking event where some important structure in your life collapses all around you. And it's very hard to see the way moving forward when that happens, because suddenly nothing's the same as it was the day before. This can sometimes represent the collapse of the relationship itself. Sometimes it can represent the collapse of a belief system that you had. In other words, like this mental model of the world you've been operating from, where you believed things were a certain way, and you believed, I've got this husband figure and everything's going to be the 10 of Cups. Yeah, and the card that I just knocked off here, 5 of Wands, the internal conflict. And now something has happened to make you internally conflicted about whether that's even true or not. That belief has been shattered based on something that's happened. It can mean any of that stuff. This is something major that has crumbled apart for you. King of Wands, next card. This is Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is someone who's bold, passionate, fiery, determined, knows exactly what they want. They go after what they want. They don't take no for an answer. They don't let obstacles and roadblocks get in the way. This is really like go-getter type energy. This would also represent someone that you have a very high level of attraction to. They're probably very charming, very good looking, very charismatic. This is the pinnacle of the wand suit, and the wand is the phallic symbol of the deck. It represents the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex. So this is not just a driven, motivated, determined person. This is someone who's also very driven and motivated by passion and desire and sexual energy. And that Tower is directly tied to that. Now, this is entirely possible. We've got 2 different sides to your person, or 2 different ways that you're viewing them, and you're kind of torn between those 2 different ways, because you view them as husband and then you view them as like this person who is like fully in control of the wand, so to speak. Yeah, it's funny because I have that King of Pentacles, King of Wands, because it's still on the bottom of the deck, but that is the shared energy as well. So that husband piece weighs more to you. Central to your energy is that 5 of Wands again. It's the first clarifier in the shared energy, Leo energy. Again, 5s are conflict. This is a conflict in desires, where a piece of you wants one thing and another piece of you wants pretty much the opposite of that, and you're internally conflicted about it, pulling yourself in 2 different directions here. Tell me about the 5 of Wands. Why is that central for Cancer, please? No. Queen of Swords just showed herself to me, flipped over, and then went right back in the deck and didn't come out. What that feels like to me, because it's the Queen of Swords is she who knows the truth. she showed herself to me and went back in and didn't come out. This is like almost like a piece of you knows the truth, but another piece of you doesn't want that to be the actual truth. There should be a truth being spoken and a severing occurring. And I see the sword and sadness and devastation happening. Something's off here. Something's off here. When I clarify this Five of Wands, again, wow, that's Leo energy. I get the Leo Major Arcana card, Strength. I get the Seven of Wands, which is a Leo energy. And I get the Queen of Wands, which is a Leo, sometimes Aries energy. This entire central column for you is Leo energy. Like I said, you might be dealing with Leo. You could be dealing with any sign though. This Strength card, Leo Major Arcana energy, tells me you're going through the difficult thing right now. It's very difficult to make it through. You need all your internal strength to make it. This could also be you having this internal struggle where there's a piece of you that wants something really bad, and the better thinking part of yourself is holding that desire piece back. Like, wait a minute, dude, I know you want that, but let's look at this a different way here. Could be that. Next, this Seven of Wands is Leo energy. It's defensive energy. It's like defending a position on something, defending a stance on something, like being willing to fight for what it is you desire, fight for what you believe in, fight for the connection. It's like defending against external energy that's coming at you here. Trying to fight something off or fight to protect something. Sadness and remorse is tied to that. And notice that, like the way it's laid on the table, they have their backs to each other. Again, that's really feeling internal conflict. There's a piece of you that's mourning the loss of this, and there's another piece of you that wants to fight either for it or about it. Next, I have Queen of Wands. That's the counterpart to this King of Wands. We've already seen her in the story on the bottom of the deck when I saw the stuff about like the passion and the desire and all that. It's like, this feels like someone else is showing up. Now, this could be a piece of you where you know exactly what you want and you're going to go after it. But if that's the case, why is it showing up clarifying, being internally conflicted about what you want? She knows what she wants. She's not conflicted about it. So this is not feeling like your energy. You should be showing up as Queen of Cups, not Queen of Wands. And she's laying directly beside the Tower, and the other thing connected to the Tower is the King of Wands. So this would be like counterparts in that passion desire end of things here. Could be that you're trying to fight for what's yours and fight off this person. The negative side of the Queen of Wands is she can be a drama queen. She can be somebody that starts a whole bunch of shit just because she sees something that she wants and she doesn't give a damn if that person's already taken. Tough, I'm going to go get what I want anyway. It could be that. Final card for you, like I said, we got 3. We got the Nine of Cups, the Hierophant, and the World. Nine of Cups, again, Pisces energy. This is singles energy. I'm having singles energy showing up all over the place. This is emotionally single energy. This is wish fulfillment. This feels like a couple of different messages, like the Hierophant being next is Taurus Major Arcana. This is a card of commitment. It's like taking things to the next level, being in a committed relationship, going to the next level of being engaged, getting married, being fully committed. Like that's wish fulfillment for you. But we do have the World with it, which is the final card of the Major Arcana. It represents completions, like completion of cycles, like the ending of one cycle and at the same time, the very beginning of a new cycle where you start back over at the beginning at the Fool again, card 0. This could be saying two things. Is like what I'm wanting is this, with everything in me, is this commitment, this marriage thing, but then there's the cycle of that has ended, and now I'm in this new cycle where I'm off balance and I'm trying to rebalance and recalibrate myself because I've got all this loss and a severing to deal with and the collapse of everything that I thought was true. And now I'm all internally conflicted and hurt, and a piece of me wants to fight for this and another piece of me wants to just beat the crap out of this other person. This could even be telling me elements about your person and that their wish fulfillment and their own personal happiness was more important than the commitment, and they ended the cycle and started a new one. Tell me more about this, please. Son of a bitch. I don't think I showed you what was on the bottom of the deck when I did that middle column. Look, Ace of Wands again, phallic symbol of the deck, passionate new beginning. Ace of Cups, new beginning in love and emotions. 9 of Cups, personal happiness and wish fulfillment. And then again, 4 of Pentacles, holding on tightly to something that I don't want to let go of. Judgment. Is it dead and over? Can it be resurrected? This is the decision about that. Or it can even be passing a final verdict in judgment and making that decision. Look, again, 7 of Swords, the moon again, lying, deception, sneaking around behind backs, keeping things secret in the midst of this 10 of Cups. That's the negative side of the 10 of Cups that no one seems to be willing to even talk about. Like, they'll only tell you the bright, shiny rainbows and unicorn farts version of all these cards. And it seems like there's more and more people out here doing readings on YouTube, and they literally try to twist the meaning of every card to make every reading they do this positive peaches and cream, like awesome positive thing. And while I would love to give you a positive reading, believe me, I would love nothing more than that. But the fact of the matter is, the world is not all rainbows and unicorn farts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People go through real bullshit in their relationships, sometimes at the hands of other people. This 10 of Cups is that fairy tale love connection we all dream about. It's the thing that we all want, and we all want it like desperately. We all want this so badly that we will delude ourselves. We will lie to ourselves and convince ourselves that this relationship I'm in is the happily ever after I've always wanted. And we'll ignore red flags because we want this to be true so bad. And if I see that red flag and that red flag is actually true, well, then this is invalidated and that can't be true. So I'm just going to ignore that and pretend like I didn't see it. I'm going to sweep that shit under the rug too, because I want this to be true so bad. That's the negative aspect of this. And that kind of thinking always leads to a tower, because that's a belief. It's not real. It's just a belief. And then it collapses. God bless America. Okay. Sorry, I should have shown you all that before I even showed you what the clarifiers were, but it just struck me so much that those were all Leo cards that I just skipped straight to that for some reason. Anyway, we're going to clarify now this idea of wish fulfillment and marriage and commitment and the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. Tell me about that, please. Why is that the final card here for Cancer in this connection? Okay, we'll take you. You're getting so many extra cards today, Cancer. I'm sorry if this reading turns out to be longer than you wanted it to be. I know a lot of people tend to get quite pissed off at me for making hour-long readings, and why can't I just do it in 10 minutes like everybody else? But I guess my answer to that is, if you want 10-minute long readings that don't really give you any specific answers to what the hell's going on in your life, then by all means go watch some 10-minute long readings that don't give you any answers. Fine. Bottom of the deck. 9 of Pentacles. Again, singles energy. We're clarifying, very first card here that we're clarifying is singles energy combined with commitment. Doesn't really work all that well. And ending of a cycle. Here's more singles energy. We got someone here that was presenting themselves in the physical world as if they were single, instead of presenting themselves as if they were in a committed relationship like they were. And that has put you into an ending of a cycle of that commitment and advancing it to the next level and put you in this single state. Death. that whole concept of acting single when I'm not is what caused the death here. It's what killed things. When I clarify these 3 cards, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clarifiers. So again, extra cards. I normally get 3. I get the Lovers, the 10 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, and then the Moon and the 9 of Swords. Wow. I gotta get a drink through this one. Lord have mercy. I feel it for you, Cancer. Like my hands are trembling. I can, my heart's racing. I can feel it. I'm sorry what you're going through. The Lovers is the Gemini Major Arcana card. This is a powerful connection for you. I want to be very, very clear because I know you see all over YouTube that this is the Twin Flame card, this is the Soulmates card, and this is the universe screaming at the top of its lungs that this is the person for you and you're supposed to be with them and no one else. And I'm telling you straight up, that is not what the Lovers card means. That is not what the Lovers card has ever meant. That's just some twisted thing that some people do out of sheer greed alone, because that whole Twin Flame topic is so profitable. Like, I can see all of this inside the back end of my YouTube channel. Like, it shows you stats and stuff. Like, Twin Flame topic is super moneymaker, but it's bullshit, and it keeps people trapped with a person that they should never be with, that treats them like shit. And they're doing it just to make you want to come back to watch the next reading. And to me, that is like, that's the worst form of greed that you could get. This is not the universe saying, hey, Cancer, this person is the one for you. You're supposed to be with them. This is saying that in your energy, you feel this power of this connection. And at one point in time, you probably believed this is the one for you. Which is why this situation that you're in is so difficult. It's why this severing has been so difficult for you. It's why there's been all this heartbreak and sadness and remorse and loss tied to it. It's why there's been this power, but it's not you that caused it. It's your person. And if this was your Twin Flame, they wouldn't do you that way. If this was your soulmate, they wouldn't do you that way. This is just saying that you feel the power of this connection. Next, we have 10 of Pentacles. Like, I've had every hint that we're talking about married people or people that live together here, or that spend so much time together physically that they might as well be. There's the combined together, building a life together concept here. And it's sitting right beside the thing that you want to fight for. But it's also external energy coming at it that you want to fight off. And there's sadness and remorse and regrets and loss tied to it. Maybe because you couldn't fight off the 3rd cup and it spilled everything. Could be that. I have too many references to another person being involved here. 6 of Cups is next. Another one of those cards that a lot of readers try to tell you this means Twin Flames too. Like, there's the cards that I've seen that people say mean Twin Flames are the Lovers and the 6 of Cups and the 4 of Wands and the 1111 that's on it. And like, somehow they even misconstrue and twist the real meaning of 1111 into that somehow now means Twin Flames too, when it too has nothing to do with that. This card is a Scorpio energy of the past. This is thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. It represents having a deep emotional connection. It can represent someone from the past making a comeback, or something from the past making a comeback. It is sitting directly beside Queen of Wands. So this could be your person has some fling from their past that has now made a comeback. This could just be telling me that you and your person have a history together, and part of their history is they find other women that they're attracted to or other people that they're attracted to, and then they pursue that attraction, and that causes tower moments. This could be saying it's someone that the person you're with here already knows. Like, it could be either someone that they were with prior to you at some point in the past, or it could just be someone that they have known for a period of time. It doesn't even have to be someone that they were actually with before. It could just be someone that's not a brand new person that they've already known for a while. Moon is next. Pisces energy, fear, worry, anxiety. Getting ahead of myself, but this is Gemini energy. 9 of Swords also means fear, worry, and anxiety, but for two different reasons. This can be fear, worry, anxiety of the uncertainty of what do I do now that my wish fulfillment of this commitment has ended, and now I'm in this new cycle of where I have to be emotionally okay by myself when I had all of this, and I'm dwelling on the past here. This could be you having fear, worry, and anxiety about the uncertainty of all that and what you're going to do moving forward from here. Could be why you're trying to take some time to think about that and figure it out and get through the confusion. Like, that's kind of what the advice of this card is for you. Like, this is a lot of, like, when the moon's out, it's dark outside. You cannot see the full path in front of you. Think about when you're driving on the road at nighttime. You can't see the full road ahead of you. All you can see is that spot your headlights are shining on right in front of you. And that's all you need to see in order to be able to go from point A to point B safely and successfully. And that's the meaning of this card. Yes, you can't see where you're going right now. You can just see right in front of you, and that's it. You don't need to see the full path. You just need to trust yourself and keep walking. Keep going down your path right now. Don't start questioning yourself, because that looks like what you're doing here. This is fear, worry, and anxiety. It's thinking about something so much with so much fear and so much worry and so much anxious energy behind what you're thinking about that it starts to physically manifest itself inside of you through like actual fear and worry and stressing yourself out and not being able to sleep at night, not being able to concentrate on what you're doing. It's like your mental anguish. It's like your mind just won't stop. And notice the person here has their eyes covered. There's something they don't want to see here. And I felt that like a gut punch when I was shuffling and I saw that Queen of Swords, she who knows the truth. And then it went right back down, face down, and didn't come out. Like, there's some element of this that you don't want to see. And it could be a case where you have been so strongly convinced of this twin flame bullshit or this like soulmate idea of that this person is the one for you and there's no other way about that. It could be that, which, like I said, I see that happen to people so much doing what I do. And it causes so much real pain, and it's just, I won't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole other than to tell you how much bullshit the whole thing is. Your person's energy here in October 2023, we get the Page of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Wands. Central to their whole get-up here is this new beginning in love and emotions. And on the outside of all that are 2 Wands cards, 2 Desire cards, 2 Passion cards. This Page of Wands is news and messages and communications about passion and desire, so passionate messages. It can also represent someone who has the willingness to take the very first steps down a brand new path towards something they have passion and desire for. This is the minor arcana version of the Fool card. It's not quite as throw caution to the wind and just screw it, I'm going to leap off the cliff as the Fool is, but this is definitely someone who'll stick their toe in the water. They have the willingness to take that first step toward passion and desire. That first step is almost always like messages and communications about passion. Tell me about Page of Wands, please. Why is that the first card? Cancer's romantic person. I'm not taking a whole giant chunk, so I'm not even looking at these. I'm putting those back in, and I will keep the 2 that came out right side up. Any of that was supposed to come out, it'll hit me again, and I'll get 4 or 5 cards right here. So tell me more about this Page of Wands. I just need 1 card, please. See, told you. Probably should have just kept those. I feel like I have another one in here that's flipped over too. I'm sorry, Cancer. I shouldn't have taken that much time away from doing your readings, because now it's like so much is trying to come out. Bottom of the deck. 10 of Cups. Pisces energy. It's that happy fairy tale love connection that we all dream about. This could be saying that you had that idea tied to someone who's not the actual king that you have them represented as in your beliefs, and it's more this lowly page. That's the least developed of the court cards. It ain't a knight, and it damn sure ain't the king. This is like child energy. This is not fully developed energy, not fully mature energy. I don't know that you can have 10 of Cups with a child that's not fully developed yet. Don't think you were dating a minor here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying your person is not fully developed in some areas. Yeah, we're in this 10 of Cups relationship here, and then look at all this fast moving 8 of Wands energy, 8 wands flying through the air. This is very fast forward moving energy. The only energy faster than this is that Chariot card we see in the center of the shared energy. This is very fast movement, very fast, rapid, back and forth, passionate communications back and forth. This is like having rapid forward movement in progress on something there's a lot of passion and desire for. This can represent something happening like where there's so much coming at one time, so much happening at one time that it can feel overwhelming. I can definitely relate to that kind of an energy, because that kind of an energy is exactly what put me in hermit mode for 3 months. Son of a bitch. Look what the rapid progress and movement is toward. The Empress. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's perpetually pregnant, so she's always pregnant. She's always giving birth to something, and she represents the birth of something new. So in a love reading, that represents the birth of a new connection. Sometimes it can represent the rebirth of a connection, but this is looking much more like, hey, I had the willingness to take the first steps down a new path. And yeah, I know I'm in this 10 of Cups thing, but this is happening fast, and it's overwhelming to me, and boom, there's the birth of something new. Want to clarify that. I got 6 cards instead of 3. Queen of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Justice, Page of Cups, 3 of Swords, 4 of Swords. This is telling me a pretty good synopsis. Queen of Swords is she who knows the truth. We've seen her already once, and then I've seen her again flip up and show herself to me and decide not to come out when I'm in your energy. This is Libra energy. Again, this is speaking the truth about something, and then the truth that the other person speaks isn't matching up with the real truth, and then some severing takes place. Knight of Pentacles, slowest moving knight in the deck. This is also someone who knows what they're supposed to do and doesn't do it. If you are a husband or this significant other in a committed relationship with someone, you're not supposed to take new steps down new paths towards passion and desire. You're not supposed to follow your wand. You're not supposed to birth something new. Again, I didn't go far enough. And kill a connection, cause a painful transition period, act as if you're single when you're not single and you're actually in a committed relationship with someone physically, and then cause endings of cycles and beginnings of new cycles. That's not what you do when you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's why some severing took place. Justice is next, the Libra Major Arcana card. This is the most powerful card of balance in the deck. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. That sword right there is the Ace of Swords that shows up as the first clarifier for you. It's the same sword that the Queen of Swords is holding, but here in this card, it's used to cut away something that's not fair, that's not in balance, so balance can be restored, and then the right, fair, just thing can happen. This is like justice happening, or Really, what this is screaming to me is that something unfair and unjust has occurred at their hand, and there needs to be some balancing of that unfairness, unjustness here. If I go all the way across the row back into your energy, we're going from the unfair thing has happened, and then I've got this Six of Cups on your side, this energy of the past. This is feeling much like this ain't the first time that this has happened. Page of Cups is next. News, messages, communications about love and emotions. So now it's interesting. I saw the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands at the very beginning. Now I've got the Page of Wands that I'm clarifying, and I get the Page of Cups to go with that. Again, not fully developed energy, not fully mature energy in the emotional sense. This is someone who's not emotionally fully developed. They're not emotionally mature. When it comes to passion and desire, they're not fully developed. They're not mature in that regard either. Notice there's a fish in the cup. This is like sleight of hand. It's not just communications and messages about lovey-dovey stuff and flirtatious behavior. It's like, hey, look over here so you don't see what I'm really thinking and feeling and what I'm really up to. That's part of the unfairness. Following that directly across back into your energy, we get the moon. The something being hidden in the dark was the messages with this person from their past. The unfair thing where they were doing something they knew they weren't supposed to be doing. Three of Swords is next. Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. Now, the third energy is not always another person. And when it is, it's not always a romantic third party. Sometimes it's mom getting nosy when she shouldn't, or, family members sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, or nosy neighbors, or nosy coworkers, or whatever, nosy friends. It can be any of that kind of stuff. It could be an addiction. It could be someone has got some sort of devil toxic energy in there where they need to look in their shadows and do some internal work, and they're not doing it. It's rearing its ugly head and causing problems, and that can be the third energy. It can be another person, though. I've got 3 cups of love here. I've got King and Queen of Wands out here. I've seen a lot of different references to sneaky deceptive behavior, birthing something new beginnings, messages about same. Final clarifier we have here is the Four of Swords, which again is the overall energy of this reading. This feels like a synopsis, like just here's a brief bullet point list of what has happened right here. And that is what ultimately has landed you here, progressing from this heartbreak and sadness into this energy of like trying to calm your mind and figure out what to do moving forward. Man. This person is also suffering from some sort of an internal conflict and like pulling themselves in 2 different directions. There's a will to overcome something. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if their will is to overcome what has happened between the 2 of you and get reunited with you, or if they're still conflicted about that. And what they want to overcome is just like having this third party thing. I don't understand this person because I don't operate this way. And it's hard to wrap my mind around someone that does. Central to their energy is the Ace of Cups, that new beginning in love and emotions. And again, like I said, this could be, let's fill the cup back up between the 2 of us and start over at the beginning emotionally. This could just as easily be, especially based on what I've seen, I got a new person that I'm starting some emotional stuff with here. Tell me about the Ace of Cups, please. How is the Ace of Cups central to Cancer's person's energy of this connection in October 2023? Thank you. Oh, I need a drink again. Good grief. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Pentacles, Capricorn energy, holding on tightly to something that I don't want to let go of. The thing they're holding on to is the new cup. But just as easily, they could also be holding on to this idea of filling the cup back up with you. No, I don't like them. Seven of Swords, Aquarius energy. Lying, cheating, stealing, deception, sneaking around behind backs, trying to get away with something. They're holding on to that. Ten of Swords. This is Gemini energy of a swift, painful ending. Sometimes this is an ending that you don't see coming, hence the swords in your back. If you saw it coming, they'd be in your front. Sometimes this is an ending in betrayal, hence the swords in your back. You got stabbed in the back. No matter how you slice this energy, it is an ending. And it's got some finality to it, because it sure as shit does not take 10 swords to kill a person. Yet there are 10 swords here. Ace of Cups. It's the card we're clarifying right now. New beginning in love and emotions. This is either I want to hold on tightly to my ability to sneak around, and I'm even willing to kill this if I can't sneak around because I want this new thing, this bright new shiny toy. Or this is like, hey, I realize I'm doing all this sneaking around and ended things, but can we bring this back, because I still want to hold on to you and my ability to be sneaky at the same time. This is screaming like I want my cake and eat it too. That's what I want. Can we just do that? Can I just keep both of you? When I clarify Ace of Cups, Judgment, the Sun, Knight of Swords. Again, Judgment, we've already seen this once. It's a final decision, and it's a decision about the connection. Is it dead and over with, or can we resurrect it and bring it back to life? Sitting right beside Queen of Swords, there was a decision made. Someone got their head cut off. Someone got severed here. And that decision was made. But now, can we like do something different here? Can we do something different? Because now I don't want to lose you. Next, I have the Sun, the Leo Major Arcana card. This is typically the happiest card in the entire tarot deck. It represents happiness, joy, abundance, bliss, harmony. Really, really hard to get a better card than the Sun, especially in a love reading, when that's what it means. The other meaning to the Sun is, like, you got to keep in mind that this is the card that comes immediately following the Moon in the sequence of the Major Arcana. Here, it's dark out. Things get hidden in the dark. Secrets are being kept hidden. The next step is the Sun comes up and shines his light into the darkness, exposing what's been hidden in the dark, shining light on it so you can see it. And then we have the Knight of Swords, fastest knight in the deck, very fast, forward-moving, decisive energy. Again, this is the person who just does it. I don't need to think about it first or while I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. I'll think about that later. That kind of very abrupt, spontaneous, like impulsive energy is tied to this something not being fair, something not being balanced. Now, I had all these extra cards here, and I'm reading these in rows to you as I go down the columns, and we hit this spot right here where we got this fast action, but then we've got this lovey-dovey communications, flirty behavior, third party causing a heartbreaking thing and then trying to figure out what to do. But there's nothing beside any of that. There's just this big hole, this big gap. Which brings us to the final card in their energy, the Two of Wands. This is Aries energy. Twos are decisions and choices. This is a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in your person's life. It's a crossroads in this connection with you. This is a decision point, and it's a decision for them about what do they want their world to be like, and which of these two paths gets me to the world that I really want. And which of these two paths do I have to leave behind? Again, notice this is a wand card. It's a passion desire card. And I have to now choose, what do I actually desire? Tell me about this Two of Wands, please. Where's the Two of Wands here? Okay. Trying to put them in the right order. Cut me some slack. Cut me some slack. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Cups. Pisces energy, that happily ever after, happy fairy tale love connection, happy ending, happy fairy tale ending, and death right behind it. Scorpio's major arcana cards, something dying, something being dead. Ten of Cups is, I don't know if this is saying that their belief in this has died, or that the path they chose took this idea and killed it. When they birthed something new, the Empress, and that happened very, very quickly. A lot of passion and drive behind that. Very fast, forward-moving energy. They chose their path and they did it rapido, which is why I see that fast-moving energy for at least the second time, this fastest knight in the deck for at least the second time, and central to the energy affecting you both is the maximum speed in the whole tarot deck. Maximum speed tied directly to third cup. They made their choice. They chose their path. Clarifying Two of Wands, King of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the Devil. Man. King of Cups is either Scorpio or Pisces energy. This is a person who, when they make decisions, is very in touch with their emotions. They're very in touch with their intuition. They don't publicly broadcast how they feel, though. They don't wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't necessarily publicly tell you how they feel or what they're feeling. This could be someone who loves you, and you may not even know because they don't show it, they don't say it. This could be someone who is in emotional turmoil, and you don't know because they don't broadcast that. This is typically a very positive energy. This is someone who is like good husband, good friend, good listener, like able to process their own emotions, emotionally mature. But we've seen several references to the opposite of that. Do I believe that they're able to tap into that side and display it at times? Yes, I do. Do I think that that is the side that you get to see most often? No, not for a second. Especially with what's here still. We got the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy, singles energy. I'm in this loving, I'm the other half to the Cancer counterpart here. Like the Queen of Cups is a Cancer energy. I'm the other half to that energy, yet I display myself as physically single. That is part of what gets exposed and what you can now see. Their happiness, their source of happiness is also tied to being physically single, which to me means physically available, which is kind of hard to do with Queen of Pentacles and Four of Wands. Son of a bitch. Queen of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. This would be the wife. This would be the stable, committed person I'm building my life around, building my life with. She's the other half of the equation that matches up with the King of Pentacles to make the Ten of Pentacles, that combined together life, either married or living together. I've seen the Hierophant out here. Now I've got also the Four of Wands to go with this. So this is screaming live together or married. This is a card of stability. It's a four. It's stability of the home, stability of the family, stability of the relationship, the connection between the two of you. These Four Wands do represent 1111, but 1111 is the number of manifesting, and that's what this card is about. The thing that you decided you wanted and then took the steps to get and are trying to manifest it, and you're waiting on it to finally arrive. This is the arrival of it. This is it manifesting in the physical reality, and it's here and stable, and it's time to celebrate. This is celebrations of the home and the family, and this is screaming, I have a wife, and I have this stable home family life. And if it's not a wife, this is someone I'm committed to, that I have, but I have love for them, but I also don't I don't show them everything, and I have choices, and I present myself as single, and I take actions without thinking about wife. Look at that. It's laying right there on the table like this. I have wife in the background, but I still run off and do my own thing anytime I want. Anytime the wind blows just the right way, boom, I'm going to run off and do something unbalanced, unfair, and unjust. And it's going to start with me doing things I know I'm not supposed to do, like lovey-dovey communications and flirting, and then third parties, and then there's this break between us. And what's driving that entire column? The devil. Capricorn Major Arcana card, heavy toxic energy. This person has something that they need to address inside themselves. This is very distorted energy, which does not jive, again, with that whole twin flame bullshit that the other readers will try to convince you. Like, I'm telling you straight up, this person treats you like shit. You do not have to tolerate that just because some phony ass tarot reader wants to make money off of you and told you that this is your twin flame and you're supposed to be with them. So you're just kind of in tough luck and have to take whatever they do to you. No, you don't. This is not a twin flame. This is a toxic person. This is a karmic person. This is, they're same two people on both cards. This is supposed to be divine counterparts. This is distorted counterparts. They have chains around their neck. They're not in this relationship because it's good. They're stuck in it. They can't escape. And being in this distorted energy for so long has changed who they are. It's distorted them. They've grown horns. They've grown tails. Divine energy, divine connection literally means that when the universe or God or source or however you view that created love between people, divine means this is what the energy was intended to be like at the moment it was conceived and created by the divine. This is distorted. That means it's not that. You can't be in a relationship with a distorted person and have a divine connection. It doesn't matter how in alignment you are. They're not in alignment. They're distorted as hell, and that will make you distorted. It makes your connection distorted by default, and you being in a distorted connection will change who you are. Like, my hands are trembling again. This whole toxic devil energy is what's driving them. These are things that they aren't looking at in themselves. They're not doing the inner work to overcome this stuff. Instead, they're letting it control them, and they're probably pretending like this isn't even there. But that's like standing on the railroad tracks when the train's coming and going, I can't see you. You're not there. You're not there. Yeah, it is there, and it's going to turn them into hamburger meat if they don't address this and do something about it. And it seems to have already caused a tremendous amount of damage in your life and pain and loss for you. Now, if you still have questions about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. And when you do, you'll be taken to more Cancer love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.